also on Zoom. Let's see. Okay, so welcome to the Embodiment Café. I guess we are online now, also on Facebook. And this is really a trial to see. Let's see if it's really that we are really online. I'm just checking. Let's see if it's really that we are really online. Here is myself with a little bit of delay. So everything is working. This is really a trial, and I guess I won't post it because it will be a little bit strange. So this is just a recording for Embodiment Café, and to say that I invite you all each Monday at 1:15 to chat about embodiment and surroundings, which means I can answer questions regarding embodiment. We can also do some practices or questions regarding the practices or sharing insights. But most of all, I would like to talk about really embodiment and coaching, and what does it mean to bring embodiment in your daily life, and what does it mean to bring a practice in your daily life. Actually, there is another appointment each Tuesday at 8:30 in the morning. I know that it's a tricky hour, but it's the only possibility that I have. And we will explore practices. So each Tuesday at 8:30, there will be a new practice for the week that you can bring during the week then. But on Monday, 1:15, yeah, in the afternoon, short after lunch, or maybe during lunch, depending when you eat, we just friendly talk about embodiment and a little bit of chat. So I welcome you and invite you to join me each Monday at 1:15 and each Tuesday at 8:30. Monday we just have a chat, answer to questions, and we gather together, and on Tuesday we start the practice for the week. So maybe it would be interesting to say why embodiment, why to bring embodiment in daily life, what is embodiment? Oh, there are so many questions. So like, for example, just already the word embodiment is such a huge one, because it means so much, and just saying embodiment, you cannot really reach everything, all the meaning, and usually it's not known. I mean, you talk with people and you say, I'm an embodiment coach, and they say, and what does it mean? I mean, probably they even don't know what does it mean coaching, but I guess this is already starting to go into the knowing of the people. I mean, the people are starting to get to the meaning of the coaching. Sometimes it's also a lot used, and but embodiment is really something that sometimes it's really misused, and it's not really into the known of the people. The people don't have the understanding of it. So let's talk a little bit about embodiment just shortly. And I just want to check what time is it, so that we can just shortly. Yeah, of course. I cannot do like that. So maybe I do like that, so that we can Okay, so I see the time that was passing. We have a frame of half an hour to have our embodiment cafe, and so I don't want to go over the hour. So really, let's talk about what embodiment is, what does it mean, and I guess I can give you only a glimpse of it because it's really a vast, has it's huge. Okay, so it's really something, and it's not just huge, the meaning, but is it's something that we understand while doing. So it's not really something that we can understand just talking, but even talking and giving information, it's useful because you get the basics. But most of all, it's something that we have to feel on our body, on our skin. Is something that we have to practice and do. Yeah, embodiment is not something that we can learn on the books. We can use books as hints, as suggestions, just to get some idea so that we can work on it, so that we can practice on some suggestions, but we have to practice. So let's start from really the word embodiment. Embodiment has, let's say, the word body inside. That's not true. It's written embody with the I, and body is with the Y. Okay. But just to get the first meaning has to do with the body. It doesn't have to do only with the body, of course, but let's start from that point. So it has to do with the body, meaning that we bring some, let's say, we bring awareness to the body, to the sensations of the body, to how we perceive our body, and so from there we build something on it. It's really something complex because, but it's easier to do it than to explain it. We start from the awareness of the body. And the awareness of the body, we need to go into the awareness of the body slowly. So through drops of awareness, as I say, because sometimes we are not really aware of our body, and that's because our body is protecting us from something that was caring, that was not good for us, etc. These are really the basics, and I'm not going deep into those concepts. Yeah, we can go deep into all those different concepts in the next weeks through the other Embodiment Café. Yeah, really chatting about it and going deep and deep. So it's important to give drops of awareness, because otherwise we can overwhelm our system, and we don't want that. Yeah, so we want really to go into the possibility of a dialogue with our body, but at the same time we don't want to dive into it, because it can be really overwhelming and can have the opposite effect. Instead of supporting us, it can have the effect of destroying us. If we are not ready to take this step, it can be really dangerous. Yeah. So drops of awareness, like little seeds that we put inside, and patiently we give water, patiently we wait, and patiently they grow up, and patiently, yeah, we see the results. So this is the first thing. Drops of awareness, how do we get them? How can we create those drops of awareness. So one of the tools, and it's one of the tools that I use, is using movement. I use some, let's say, guided meditation in movement, but not only. Questions. So we also use our mind, our brain, and we try to connect to the sensations of our body. So the first possibility is to give a name to those sensations and to welcome them. So not to judge them, but just get them as they are. Giving a name sometimes is not always possible. I know it. I know it from my first experience. But also trying to give a name, and even if the name is not arriving anyway, being in that in that intention of wanting to give a name, and in the intention to look at it and to welcome it without judging, which is really difficult sometimes, because we always want, after giving a name, after giving a label, we want to justify, or we want to say why, or we want to ourselves, really, yeah, sometimes. But we want to create then a story, or maybe we don't want, but it's getting really natural then to flow into those patterns, which are really behavioral patterns. So we talked about drops of awareness, and we talked about that they have to be drops of awareness. So we talked about why, more or less, and we said how we can create little by little this awareness. How can we create, or we can start the dialogue with ourselves? So another thing that I would like to touch is about the body. Yeah, we talk a lot about the body in embodiment, but there's not only the body, and we are not made only of body. Yeah, there was this thing. We had a period, a long period of being just cognitive, mental, brainy, and everything was brought up here. And if we would have been able to draw a person, we would have drawn up a person with a little bit of, like, a thin arm, thin legs, a little bit of chest, I don't know, something like that, hands, feet, and a big, huge head, because it was all there. Yeah. And then happened this revolution, which already started 40, 50, 60 years ago. It's already a long time, and which brought really big attention to the body. But then happened another revolution, which is in the last 10, maybe 15 years, which brought the attention not just to the body, not just to the cognitive, but to the connection of the two, to the fact that we are not just a body, which is bringing around our brain, which is not our brain, which is ordering or giving commands, deciding what to do to the body. And it's not just the body which is giving information to the brain. It's not just one, or it's not just the other one, but it's a continuous dialogue between the two. So we are not just body, we are not just brain, we are a whole, which is made from the body, the head, the brain, our thought. And I would also add that it's not just about the brain, the thoughts, and it's just not just about the body, and the connection between the two, but it's also about our behaviors. It's also about the connections that we have between each other. And there's also a component of soul. So we are really a complex human being, yeah, a complex being, which is made from different parts, which are connected to each other, interrelated, and not independent from each other. If one is suffering, the rest is suffering. We cannot avoid to take care of one of the different parts of ourselves. And at the same time, we are made of different parts, but at the same time, we are one. We are not made of parts, we are one. Because this interconnectedness, this interrelational between the different parts makes ourselves a whole. So maybe I give an example that it's not really so easy to understand, but in our body there are different parts. Yeah? We are made of skin. If we want to look at the structures, we have skin, we have different systems, they're called. So we have the skin, we have the bones, we have the muscles, we have the blood, we have the lymphatic system, and we have the organs. Then we can look from we have different types of tissues, and we can look at the different types of tissues as specialized. So there are organs which are devoted to do something and something else, and so on, so that we are functioning perfectly. Yeah, we are not a machine. Yeah, it's just that I'm sorry, but we are humans, and we don't have such a big vocabulary to express the complexity of ourselves. So sometimes I'm expressing myself as if I'm considering the body as a machine, but I'm not considering as a machine. But probably it's because of my past experiences in science and in dance, and then also in embodiment. But we are looking at the body sometimes as a machine. Yeah. So from the medical point of view, it's really looked like that. Yeah. Even if there are some doctors which are trying to take another holistic view to patients, but we are used to think as the body as a machine. Nevertheless, the example that I wanted to say is that we are made of different parts, but even if we are made of different parts, we are one. Even if me, Alessandra, I'm made of liver, heart, muscles, pancreas, intestine, whatever, yeah, blood, lymphatic system, vessels, or bones. I am all of them as they are, with the shape that they have, which is giving me the shape that I have. Okay, and which is giving me also how I relate to the outside, to the world. Another thing that I wanted to add, in the body, there is this fascia, which is everywhere, and it's connecting everything. So there is also in the body, even if we want to just to think of the body and not to think of the brain, even if in any way it's wrong, there is this fascia which is connecting, is the connective tissue actually, which is called also fascia, which is connecting everything at each level, from the cellular level to the more macroscopic level, which is also the one which is responsible to keep the shape of our body, the external shape. And it's connecting everything at each level. And it's also responsible of bringing some messages to different parts of the body. So this is another topic that has to be deepened, and it's not now the case, also because we are already at 20 minutes. So we try to wrap it up a little bit and to try to see if I have to say something else. But just to say that even if the body is made of different parts, we have this fascia which is connecting everything at different levels, and it's also not only connecting, it's supporting, and it's also responsible of bringing messages in different parts of the body. This to say that even looking just at the body itself, even if it's described as made of different parts, is itself one. Yeah? And it's one because it's interconnected, and everything is interrelated. But most of all, we have to remember that we don't have just the body as a structure, but this structure, which is us, yeah, it's not just something that it's there bringing us around. It's really something, it's really us, because it's giving information, receiving information, and the body itself needs the brain, and the brain itself needs the body, the mind, the thoughts, the behavior, how we bring ourselves in the world is absolutely connected to our body, is absolutely connected to the shape that we have. It's absolutely connected to how we feel in our body and how much we don't feel our body, our brain, our mind, our thoughts. It's absolutely connected to the possibility of our thoughts just running around, or being able to see them, bring them with us and say, okay, but you can go, okay, I keep something else. It's absolutely connected to the choices of bringing ourselves with a certain posture towards the other ones or not. It's absolutely connected to the relationships that we want to create with other people. It's absolutely connected to the outcomes of those relationships. It's absolutely connected to everything, everything, everything. Even to the possibility that today it's a beautiful sunny day, and yesterday it was a rainy day, at least here in Vienna. So, embodiment. There is so much to say, and we are just at the beginning. Has to do with the body, but not only, because we are not just body, we are not just brain, we are not just whatever, we are everything. And this everything is just because we are so not able to see this whole big picture that, oh my God, something is strange here. We don't see the whole picture because we are human beings and we are limited. And in this limit, we can see just part of the picture, part of ourselves. And because we are humans, we need also to give labels to things. And this giving labels is separating the things. But it's our way of understanding things. But when we are getting aware of it, we can give labels, we can separate things, and then we can put it back together, I would say. The other really important thing of embodiment is the practice. You don't become aware and you don't of yourself, and you don't start a dialogue with yourself, with your body, like today and from now on. Yeah, guys, it's all fine now. It needs practice. And it doesn't mean, like in meditation, for example, it doesn't mean that when you will start this practice, then you will become Zen. Oh my God, now I know everything. Now I can dialogue with myself. Now I'm completely grounded. Oh, guys, now I'm the one who understands everything. No, nothing. because life is happening, and life is always giving us a bump, and we have to get back on our center. And also because the more we go on with the practice, the more it's like peeling a layer. Yeah, we peel the first layer and we say, oh my God, I'm feeling good, but then we have the next layer to peel, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just the beginning. And sometimes it's like going up and then going down, and then going up a little bit more, and then going down a little bit less, then going up a little bit more, and then going down a little bit less. So that, yeah, in fact, there is the possibility to feel better, really. I don't think we can become really Zen. I don't think we become so detached from things, even because this detachment is also not healthy. Yeah. But there is the possibility to know who you are and what's your role in the world and what's your space in the world, physically, really physically, but also metaphorically. And from there, it's possible to choose. From that space of awareness, we can decide which way we want to take. When life is getting hard and difficult, that's the moment where we can say, okay, now it's getting tough. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit insecure. I'm feeling that something is not really good for me. What can I do? I have this tool. Okay, I can breathe. Making the out breath longer than the in breath, whatever. And when I get a little bit of clearness, or a little bit of that, I can lower a little bit my energy and I can start looking at things differently. Okay, now I can choose. I can choose to shout if I want, if I see that that's the proper thing to do in that moment, but I do it consciously. I'm not reacting. I'm doing it consciously. And because I think that is the way that I have to get out my energy quickly, because otherwise it's staying stuck inside. Or I can choose really to look at what's happening and say, okay, so what are the best options now? If I shout, is it really better? No, okay, it won't get better. So maybe I can do something else. What can I do? May I just say one word, or shall I just leave the space and then come back later? I don't know. There are many different options. It depends on the person, depends on the situations, depends on everything, depends who you are with in that moment. Are you talking with someone? Are you just in a difficult day because everything seems to go wrong? And then, okay, let's stop and let's see. Is it really going so wrong? Okay, what can you do now? So embodiment. Welcome on board. See you tomorrow morning for one practice, which is the new practice for the week. And see you the next week on Monday, 1:15 in the afternoon, for a chat on embodiment. And if you want to know more, or if you have some more questions, or also considerations or thoughts that were coming up, welcome them, because it's you. And if you want to share them, just write them underneath the video if you want to share them with everyone. If you want to be more private, you can contact me. There is a WhatsApp number. And otherwise, you can also write me an email, whatever. You can contact me and tell me your insights, considerations, if you think that it's not right, or your experience, or if you have more questions to ask. I will be happy to answer next week on Monday. Bye. So, 1,